back, everybody. He is known as the Teen Whisperer for his revolutionary work healing troubled youth. Here with his new book, Leaving a Legacy of Hope, please welcome Mark Gregston. So you are known for helping thousands of kids have great relationships with their parents.
Yeah.
But your latest book is geared towards the grandparents.
Yeah.
What are you hoping that the grandparents get from your book?
You know, somebody came to me and said, you need to be speaking to grandparents just because they want to connect with all these kids. And I mean, they all live in a culture where most of us have said that, I'm glad I don't have to grow up in that culture.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm convinced that these teens need some wisdom and a little bit of gray hair in the life of, you know, that grandparents can afford and can bring to the table. And so I tell people all the time, you've got to be very intentional about creating a relationship.
Sure.
You've got to move toward them. You got to do something that's engaging with them so they go, I'd really like to have a relationship with my grandparent. Not this old fuddy-duddy, not this old one that just makes chocolate cake or pickles cucumbers well. Or, I mean, that's not what I want to be known for, is all the junk. I want to be known for something that touches the heart of a child.
So when you say, not only grandparents can give this sort of global view, or this broad spectrum of life for a child to look through. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, I mean, wisdom is gathered by observation, by reflection and experience. I mean, that's how we pick up wisdom, and I think that's what kids want. They live in a world of information. It's all this information bombardment. They can get information anywhere. So if you spend your time as a parent or a grandparent doing nothing but sharing information, your kids are going to cut you off because they don't need you anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the intensity of a grandparent and a parent is to move toward them and say, you know what, I've got some wisdom in life I can share with you that will help get you through this time. Maybe that big perspective that they desperately
How do you get a tween to want to hang out with grandma and grandpa?
Yeah.
When they have their Instagram, and oh, look at me. What do you do?
Help us reach that.
That's a great question, because we've all been faced with a different world of communication, and social networking sites have changed the way that the kids interact. And so I tell parents and grandparents, whichever one they are, you've got to quit doing some things. Quit, especially grandparents, quit correcting your kids all the time. Quit telling them what to do, what not to do. You're not there for that. That's what parents are there for. As a grandparent, you need to be engaging in such a way that that child goes, wait a minute, when I'm with my grandma and grandpa, I feel a sense of hope. I feel encouraged. I feel it's a place of rest at their home. I feel it's a place that I can come and become refreshed. And so that, I mean, because I'm not so sure that grandparents are supposed to be leading anybody, but they sure need to give somebody a chance to follow them in some way.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
That is really beautiful.
Do you?
And I can relate to that on such a deep level. My name is Thespina in Greek, and I was named after my grandmother, Thespina. And she, you know, every summer, my family would go to Greece, and I'd spend 2 months with my grandma in her house. My other grandparents had already passed away when I was very young, so she was my everything. And being at my grandmother's house was exactly that. She never policed me. She never. She was known as Crazy Yaya Thespina because she talked so much. All the ladies in the neighborhood. I wonder where I got it. I know. But my mom said you got her name and her crazy. But it's true but she was always laughing and always vibrant, and always cooking, and never judged. She was just happy. And if I got an A or if I got a C or a D, it didn't matter. She loved me nonetheless, and she always encouraged me. And that felt so good. Well, but I also didn't have Instagram, and I also didn't have, so spending that time, that quality time with her really was very important to me and to who I am today.
Yeah. Well, who wants to hang around somebody that's correcting you all the time? Telling you what you're doing wrong, how you need to do it different, how you need to do it better. Who wants to hang around a person like that? Now, that's what parents are supposed to do. Grandparents aren't supposed to do that.
No, she made me feel so good.
Yeah.
This happened.
You get away with a lot with grandparents, too.
You can.
By the way, that's the fun of it.
Oh, it is.
Yes, because they're not mom and dad.
Yeah, it's true.
Help me with this, process this. So my youngest is the first to break into the dating world, and he said the other night at dinner, just dropped it. So, Dad, I asked a girl out to go to the bookstore. We're going to go on Saturday, and I was like, and Julie was like, my wife, his stepmom was like, oh my gosh, that's great, it's wonderful. And I'm like, okay, tell me about her, what's she like or whatever. But I'm really happy for you. And he looked at me and he said, well, if you're happy, you should have seen what Nana said. And I went, You told Nana first, did you? Oh, went out to Grandma first and told her. So, how do I process that? Is that good? Is it bad?
Oh, it's great. I mean, grandkids are a reward for not killing your own kids. I mean, who doesn't want grandkids? And if you like your kids, you're going to love your grandkids. I mean, you really are. And so you want that relationship that somebody's doing something right that your son would go there first. I go, that grandma's doing a great job.
She is.
Because you want them to be involved in the life. And hopefully, just by that one-on-one experience and engaging with one another, she's going to be able to rub off some of this, call it hope, call it a legacy, call it wisdom that they desperately are looking for. And that's how he's going to internalize it. You know, as a dad, you probably get too caught up in the rules and do this, clean your room, all that. And he gets to go someplace where it's just not like that.
I told him, I said, you better be a gentleman. That's what I told him right away. I started like,
instantly.
You open the doors. I
would
said, stand up when she's in, pull out her chair, do all these things. And I had the whole list.
I don't think Nana said any of that.
No. She probably said, how does she make you feel?
Yeah, right. It's true. And I know you can relate to that.
I had that
Paige.
relationship with my grandpa, and he passed away when he was 86. But in that time, they lived in Florida, and when I went out there, we didn't have the internet, but I knew I was on vacation. And I just got to spend time with them. Wow. So he taught me how to fish, take the worm. And he was kind of like, if you're grossed out by worms, you better get over it. I'm going to make you eat some. And, so it was that kind of thing. He taught me how to hunt. He taught me how to drive at 9.
Wow.
Which I would have been in trouble with my parents.
Right.
But, and he gave me this. Right before he passed away, I knew it was going to happen. And I just had a sixth sense. I flew out to Florida. He died on the plane ride back. But he gave me that it was a ring, and he said, I want this close to your heart. And I said, I will make it into a necklace.
So how do you know when a grandparent has arrived in your child's life in the manner that you
Well, I think a legacy isn't so much what you leave in their bank account as much as it is what you deposit in their heart. And I think what you can find is that there are amazing ways that a grandchild will have that special love that they don't have anywhere else, because it's an older person, because they're engaged in some way. And so if those grandparents just spend so much time correcting, I tell them, hush, quit talking so much, listen. Listen to what your grandkids are saying.
Mark, you were so wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Everybody can have a grandparent like you. You can find more information about leaving a legacy and hope at hallmarkchannel.com and on Mark's Facebook page.
Kim's going to have a story when we come back about her grandparents. Yeah? Come on.